Hello and welcome to Channel Realms. In today's episode, our second installment, we're going to show you upcoming events, and we've got a weapon construction video, and we'll show you a little bit about what's going on the Realmscraft server. But first up, what's going on? Okay, on the schedule upcoming, our practices are still WPI Mondays, Nottingham on Tuesdays, Yukon and Nashua on Wednesdays, and Greenfield on Thursdays. Next weekend on June 2nd is a Trilogy of Darkness in Nashua. And on June 8th, 9th, and 10th we have Convergences, North-South War, and North-South War again. It's a two-day event. All three dates are on the same event site, so that's a Friday night Convergences, and then North-South on Saturday, Sunday. And then June 15, 16, and 27. That's wrong. June 15, 16, and 17, we've got Adventure 2, Grafton, all 3 days, and Ren Fair in Charlton. And we've got Grimlock questing at the end of the month. So go to realmsnet.net for more information, and that's what's going on. So next up, we have a new installment of the bumper for reality check and a very long reality check. So I hope you enjoy it. Have a look. Hello and welcome to Reality Check. In this episode I'm going to try to show you a little bit of the basics on how to make a sword. This will be a really quick run through, so just try to keep up and watch the basic concept, and online you can find much more detailed instructions. So what do you need? You need pipe foam. Foam that comes in piped format. Frost King. Good stuff. You need an actual pipe. The pipe that I generally use is SDR 21, PVC 1120, but you could also use bamboo. You also need tape, strapping tape, tape with threads in it, duct tape, black, gray, any color you want, electrical tape. You need a knife, scissors, and measuring tape. And that's what you'll get in the end. This is a short weapon. It's much less than the maximum single short length, which is 3'8". So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our pipe to be 3'8" minus the length of our squish tip, which goes on the end of the weapon, and a core of foam that goes on the end of the pipe. So that's going to combine to 5 inches right there. So it's going to be 3'8" minus 5, 3'3". Okay, so 3 foot, 1, 2, and I'm going to cut it right there. A proper hacksaw works best, but if you just have a hacksaw blade, it'll work fine. Okay, you don't want to hit someone with the open end of a pipe, so you use a washer or a coin of some sort on the end, and you tape it down with strapping tape. And use strapping tape because the strands in the tape give it a lot of strength, so it's not going to go anywhere. So just a couple of strips over the top. And there you go. Once you've done the second side, what you do is you take a piece of your foam pipe, cut into a semicircle, and we're going to make a core to go on the end of the weapon. So we're going to take some tape, and we're going to roll it up like that. And then we're going to take it and put it on the end. There we go. We're going to put it on the end, and we're going to get some more tape. Nice long thin strip. Go up and over. And what this core will do is it will keep a little bit of the thrusting motion of an attack. It'll help to insulate, to soften the blow, basically. And there we've got our core. Now that the pipe is all set, we get out the foam. Frost King 3/4 inch pipe foam insulation. And we take a long strip of strapping tape and we apply it along the seam. As you can see, there's a seam. There we go. right along there, and we don't want to have that open up, so we're going to cover it up, and that'll help keep the weapon together over long periods of time. We take our pipe foam, take our pipe, and we put them together. This is easier said than done. Ugh. Sometimes when things are tight, a little bit of lube goes a long way. Get a little bit of this stuff out, and it'll still be hard, but it'll still be hard, but it'll be a little bit easier to slide the foam on. Thank you very much. So bamboo doesn't really have this problem, and smaller pipe sizes don't. But the one I have in the house right now does kind of have this problem. So just bear with me. All right, so we've got the foam pretty much on. I definitely have made the tip core too big. You can see it's a little snug, but it'll be fine. We're actually going to put a nice foam core, soft foam core on the end, and it'll help it out. We need to decide if we want a decent sized handle or not. Sometimes people have the pipe go all the way up, maybe almost halfway. This one I'm going to leave like this, I think. So, next steps. Squish tip. Because you don't want to hit someone in the gut really hard with this, even though it does have a little bit of foam, we put a squish tip on. What we do is we take a block of foam a few inches long and trim off the edges so that it's vaguely cylindrical. There we go. Take that, stick it on that. I'm going to take a piece of strapping tape for strength. Always remember that mantra, strapping tape for strength. If you want something to last, don't use duct tape, don't use electrical tape, use strap. Up and over, down the other side. A little more tape than I need for that. Another one. I'm going to go up and over, cross on the front, and down the other side. Then we'll wrap one bit of thicker tape around the base, just like that, to make sure it's not going anywhere. Okay, so again, this isn't really necessary, but if the pipe were smaller and you had a rattle between the pipe and the foam, you really need to make sure to attach your foam to your pipe, because the worst thing in the world that can happen is you swing back to deliver a blow, foam flies off, you hit the person with the plastic piping. That's not good. So just put a piece, 4 size, north, south, east, west, and then a piece around on the foam, a longer piece around the foam, and then a piece down on the pipe. And if it wasn't going anywhere before, it's certainly not going anywhere now. So there you go. That is good for a long time. Okay, so we've got our naked boffer right here, and we are going to put tape on it. Not all tape is created equal, but most tape, duct tape, will be fine as long as it's pretty light and it's loud. So I won't try to talk over it. Always go lengthwise, down one end, over the top, and back down the other side as evenly as you can. And duct tape you can usually adjust pretty easily. Okay, it's a little wrinkly, but we now have a gray sword. Next step is to put the blade tape on it. We take electrical tape, and we're going to run the electrical up one side and down the other. So just straight up one side, boop, and okay, and there you go. Now is where we measure, because we want to make sure we're not over 3'8", because it's very bad form to have a weapon that is illegal and is too long. So we just put one end down there, measure all the way down, and we are at 44 inches, which should be 3'8", unless my math is wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. That means we don't need to cut anything off the end to make sure we're the right length, and we can put some tape up and down so that we have a nice handle. Okay, so we're going to take our handle and we're going to put some duct tape across the bottom to just sort of put something on that butt. Some people will put foam on it just to make it a little bit safer. I've never had a problem with hitting myself with the butt of the weapon or hurting myself, so I don't bother. Next, the electrical tape goes on. You start not on the end, but a little bit further up, because that end may see a lot of wear, and if you spiral down to the end and then spiral back up the hilt, you will be fine. Electrical tape gives a good grip. You can use tennis grip. You can use anything as long as you're not adding significant weight to the hilt of the weapon in an effort to counterbalance the weapon. That is not okay. No D-cell batteries in the hilt, please. We don't weigh the weapon down like that. It's supposed to all be your own strength and reflexes, not counterweights and tricks with mass. Although basket hilts are sort of doing that, and they're legal. But we'll cover that in another episode, because basket hilts are awesome. I love them. All right. And we have a finished weapon. You've got your squish tip so that you can hit someone safely. You've got your foam all the way down and a nice clean handle to hold. And you are all set to go out and fight. So how do you fight? That's next episode. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks about how to actually get out there and do some basic safe fighting with your friends, or at a fight practice, or at an event if you're lucky. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to our regular scheduled Realmscraft Spotlight, which is up next. This week on the Realmscraft server, our players gathered at the Bar and Wench. Their quest took them to Riasa, where they picked up the trail of another explorer, Corwin of Riasa. They followed his footsteps west out of Cold Springs, Riasa's capital, over the border, and across vast fields of ice and snow. The journey was long, but it was meant to give them a feeling of actually having gone on a long quest, something truly worth achieving. Along the way, they did have a few encounters. Eventually, they found the Temple to the Void. Next to it, Corwin had built a temporary explorer's base. Mikhail and Sokka leapt into the pyramid, beginning their adventure. Inside the pyramid, they battled spiders and zombies, solved puzzles, and slowly made their way down through its maze-like corridors. Eventually, it led them to a vast underground cave system. It had many twists and turns, but they managed to stay on the right path. Eventually, it led them to the real Temple to the Void. Find out what lays ahead in the full video, coming soon on this YouTube channel.